And, I sometimes think about, you know what, I am not president of the United States. There is so much about this moment that is trying to make people feel like they've lost their minds. When in fact, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Yeah! Welcome to the show, everybody. Same Cast Different Day podcast. That was Tina's idea. She wanted to show y'all those clips of people interrupting Kamala Harris at her books. It was 107 days. I forgot the name of the book, but I think it's called 107 days or something like that. But yeah, these people are showing up at her shows acting a complete fool. But anyways, welcome to Same Cast Different Day podcast. I'm Martell Roland. Oh, Tina, you muted again. Just by the way, in the top, if you're watching us live or the video version, the QR code that is in the top left-hand corner will be the QR code that you can scan where it will take you to our website, where it can redirect you to our merch store and our social media pages, by the way. So, let's get things started. Tina's still muted. She's very much muted. She wanted to start the show about Derrick Rose. Hopefully she can get her microphone unmuted. I don't know what's going on here. We even started the show late, and then she had her microphone working, and now we get all these technical difficulties right when the show starts. Yeah, she's still muted on my end. This is live TV for you guys. So
okay, can you hear me now?
There we go.
What is happening?
Oh no. This is live TV for you, everybody. This is anything can happen on live television.
Okay, so sorry, y'all. Welcome to Same Cast Different Day podcast. I'm Tina Marie. Since none of y'all heard any of that, and Kamala Harris been cutting up. Okay, so we're gonna start this show off with talking about the 10 inmates that escaped from a New Orleans prison. It is called Orleans Parish Justice Center. If you guys can recall, this happened back in May, where it was like video footage of everybody kind of stampeding out. Looks like the side or the back of a building. So over the last few months since May, they have been apprehended one by one.
So they was apprehended one by one in different. I believe most of us apprehended in Louisiana. And then until Derrick Rose was recently captured, he remained on the run for 5 months.
Yep. So he was recently captured in Atlanta, where he had been on a run for about 5 months. And if you have social media, there have been a lot of like people making bets on who was going to get caught last and all of this extra stuff, right? So he was the last one. There was people making memes saying that he was wearing wigs and stuff to stay undercover, right? And everybody just thought it was for S&Gs, right? So once he was apprehended, I did run across and kind of like a walkthrough of where he supposedly was hiding out. And I was like, what is happening? We got a clip.
So this is the first time I'm watching it with y'all. So I'm gonna watch it with
you. Yeah, we are inside the home where police found Derrick Rose holed up here, that convicted murderer who escaped from New Orleans prisons, that is. Look at how much damage there is to this home. And everywhere I looked here, there's all these bubblegum wrappers and candy wrappers and all kinds of stuff. It's just weird. This one is called Etouffee Blunt Trauma. interesting what was going on here, but there is damage all over this home. But if you go downstairs, let me take a walk downstairs here. And this is where police found Groves hiding out here in a crawl space. I mean, this area is just a mess as well, but they found him in the crawl space right here. He was hiding out. I don't know how he managed to stay here because they threw those gas canisters in. This is one of those gas canisters. And we're even having trouble in here right now. This is 2 days later. We're still smelling that gas. And I had to step outside to clear my throat and stop coughing. But this house is a complete mess. The owner says he needs help getting it cleaned up. He hasn't heard from police about repairing all the damage to his home. I'm starting to feel that gas again, so it's not that simple. But once again, this is where they knocked out that front window, knocked out that front door, and over in the garage area, that ram came and knocked out the garage. Just a complete mess. The homeowner says, why him? Why him? He said if he had no luck, he'd have bad luck or he'd have no luck. But anyway, this is the home.
So that was my first time seeing that version of the video. The one that I saw did have like shots of all the bubble gum, which was weird. But then it showed the crawl space where he was found, but it was like wigs everywhere too. So so perhaps
So who
had been wearing wigs.
know who house he was staying in? Like who was renting the house? Who's the tenant? Like who's on the lease of the house? Who was
So they didn't say like that the owner said that the house was rented out to anybody.
Mhm.
Like they never confirmed that it was actually somebody living there and he wasn't just like squatting or something.
So is he just squatting in an abandoned house?
That's what I thought. But then it's like, how long was he there that you didn't come check on your property? Unless you just live out of town.
Right, which will make sense if you one of those, yeah.
Yeah. So ain't no telling. But I thought that was
I'm just like, I'm looking at that like those living conditions was terrible. I mean, at least he had running water and plumbing and stuff, but God, electricity.
So he was originally serving. He's originally serving a life sentence for second-degree murder. So a lot of people were like, why he was still in the United States? Like it would have been very hard for him to get out of the United States.
Get out of the United States with no type of passport or documentation whatsoever. You know how hard it'd be to get it. Like you have to have the money to pay somebody who has like their own private boat, and you have to get on that person's boat, and they have to drive you to like another country. Like what other country can they really drive you to? Besides like. We can't go to Puerto Rico. That's still part of the United States, like Cuba or somewhere, like one of those islands or something like that. Like, there's not really many places you can go and leave the United States without money, because you're gonna need some type of you need the real ID to fly, and you can't. Yeah, so yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's just no way. Ain't no way for him to leave the country. You can't go to Canada because Canada will sit his ass back here. So, yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next story. I just want to do a quick update on Diddy. So Diddy did request to serve the remainder of his 50-month sentence in FCI Fort Dix, pause, in New Jersey. I was like, Fort Dix? The judge denied the request and will recommend a facility chosen by the defense. I know.
Oh shit! I was supposed to say that. Oh, I was not supposed to say that. I mean, considering that, in those pictures we saw from his, his trials, he had the rubber duckies and all the sex toys and all kind of things. So I'm just saying, And then him bringing in male prostitutes to have sex. He loved dicks. That's the thing for him. Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. So moving on, I'm going to get.
Mommy.
Hold on, y'all.
So the next story is about Elijah Wicks. Elijah is a 26-year-old Elijah Wicks shot and killed by an off-duty police officer on Thursday morning in Milwaukee. Police Chief Norman stated that the officer was driving to work when he was rear-ended. The accident caused an argument which allegedly led to an argument in which the officer was pistol whipped and then fired his gun. Social media erupted into a frenzy with people stating there were witnesses and that victims was shot by the officers unprovoked. Like the victim was shot by the officer unprovoked. On Friday, the family of Elijah Wicks held a news conference with the family attorney stating that they reviewed the footage and the shooting wasn't just justified. So I saw the video. I just literally somebody just as we was getting ready to go on the air and I was on Facebook scrolling, I did see somebody post some video footage of the incident, and from what I saw, I couldn't tell in the video footage if the victim really pistol whipped the man. I couldn't really tell from the angle that I was, but some people say if you look and see video footage from the other angles, that you can see that the victim had pistol whipped the man, and that's when the man pulled out the gun and then shot him. But from what I saw, it looked like the victim ran up on the man, and I feel like the man got scared, and then he, how they figure us not color people, brown people. I don't know how to describe us, black people. How us black people have these tempers, and you know how we approach people. We come off as a little angry. So he put out his gun, and I feel like that's when he started shooting at him. That's what I saw from the angle that I saw. But the angle that I saw was really, really far away. So like I could be very wrong in that situation. So yeah, I hope that wasn't what it was with the situation. Like I mean, and then on top of that, they said that he rear-ended. The officer said that he got rear-ended, and then from the video I saw, the guy who supposedly rear-ended him, car was in front of his. He see him get out the car in front of the one that the officer got out of, and then he went towards the man. So I was just really confused about what's really going on here with that situation, and I'm gonna need to do some detailing and some investigation. Let us know what really happened. I would love to see some more camera angles. So if anybody who got some camera angles, y'all can send it to us in a message on Facebook under Same Casual for Day podcast, or you can email us at scddpodcast@gmail.com. Ooh, my words wasn't coming out right, y'all.
So I didn't see any of the video footage. I kind of came across the story because I seen a lot of people making posts saying that he didn't do it, this, that, and the other. But after seeing the footage from the victims, well, I don't even know who to call the victim in this case. So the deceased family, what the family lawyer got up there and was saying, they felt like the shooting was justified. I was just like, okay, they still got to conduct and finish the investigation and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see like what the police are going to put out.
Some mess to cover their friend to keep them out of trouble.
Could be. So moving forward with some more Tylenol business, some more RFK Jr. shenanigans. I'm like, he get on my nerves just as much as Trump do. So
who sound like he smoked 20 packs of cigarettes a day.
He do. I didn't realize he sound that bad.
It's horrible. he really got a smoker's voice, and
Yeah.
it's because he went. I don't know. He probably sounded like that before they went swimming in that disease, whatever water they was in a few
Mhm.
months ago. But okay. Yeah.
So, previously we reported on the claims from the Health and Human Services that Tylenol is linked to autism. So I had came across a clip with RFK Jr., who is supposed to be the health secretary, right? Stated that babies that are circumcised are twice as likely to develop autism because they are given Tylenol for pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this is a whole lot of Tylenol slander without facts. Like, where are the facts, right? So I was like, who manufactures Tylenol? So it looks like a company named Kenvue manufactures Tylenol. It used to be Johnson & Johnson up until 2023. So I didn't know that had even changed. But I looked that up because I'm like, I kind of feel like a defamation or some kind of lawsuit might come out. So then I was like, okay, so where's the facts, right? So I came across a statement made by the president of the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, which is what in the medical field we just call it ACOG. So you released a statement following the first announcement by Health and Human Services saying that Tylenol was linked to autism. And he said, in more than 2 decades of research on the use of acetaminophen, which is generic for Tylenol, in pregnancy, not a single reputable study has been successfully concluded that the use of acetaminophen in any trimester of pregnancy causes neurodevelopmental disorders in children. In fact, the 2 highest quality studies on this subject, one of which was published last year, found no significant associations between the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy and children's risk of autism, ADHD, or intellectual disability. They better stop playing with these people.
Where is they getting it? So where is this RFK guy? Where is he getting his information from? Like, I wonder if they found out that the company that manufactures Tylenol now, I forgot what was the name of the company you just said.
Kenvue.
So I wonder if they found out Kenvue somehow donated some money to a party that they don't like, or or they didn't donate money to Trump's party, or they came to Trump, or they, this current administration went to them about something, and then now they like, yeah, we'll do all that. We're not going to side with, we know what you're doing is wrong, and now it's like we're going to attack your company now because if you realize, even with all these entertainment companies, with ABC, Paramount, and all this other kind of stuff, when they post stuff about him in a negative way, or these networks have let people post anything about them in a negative way, he goes after them, he attacks them, and he do all this stuff and then sue them. But it seemed like Tylenol was like, yeah, we're just going to ignore you. I don't even think Tylenol even made a statement about this. I haven't even seen anything from anybody that works at Tylenol. So I don't even think they even care that that Trump and this guy is going on here saying stuff about them. To them, they're like, hey,
this point,
publicity for us. I Tylenol even more, to be honest.
I mean, I guess if I was them, I would play chess and not checkers, right? Because they're gonna continue to move forward with this rhetoric about Tylenol for whatever reason, and I mean, they can just build and gather all these different all this stuff that they doing, this administration, and I mean, they're gonna sue. They gonna end up suing the government.
Mm-hmm. They trying to distract us from Epstein files I'm gonna talk about later on in the show.
It's not working, at least not for me.
Right? Damn,
it's not working.
Hopefully, he go sees somebody about his throat.
Man, when I was listening to him talk about like the circumcision and stuff, I was like, "Is he okay?"
That's like it's like he struggles to talk. Like, what? I don't get. Like, why do you sound like that when you talk? Like,
I don't know. I was like, that's wild.
He sound like somebody who got like a like real thick secretions in their throat or something. Like, I don't know what it is.
It sounds like he used to have like a trait.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. Like he talking through a trait.
All right. Let's head into some more entertainment news. Let's talk about the Super Bowl halftime show. Now, for those of you who forgot, Bad Bunny was named the Super Bowl halftime performer for the upcoming Super Bowl. So, Charlie Kirk's foundation, Turning Point USA, is going to be putting on their own halftime show during Bad Bunny's halftime show during the Super Bowl. I don't know who would perform there besides Kid Rock or a choir. You know, one of those. They love to spread this whole Christianity thing, like the Christianity. They're not Christian, but I feel like a lot of these people that's like on in government that's screaming Christianity lean more towards Catholic, in my personal opinion, the way how they act. But um, yeah. So like I said, besides Kid Rock in a like a Catholic choir, I don't see who else will be performing at this Super Bowl Turning Point Super Bowl halftime show. I guess the halftime show has been too black for MAGA, and Bad Bunny is where they drew the line at this point. Because for the last couple of years we had, where it was 50 Cent, not 50 Cent, was the Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, all them did it, and then we had
I thought 50 Cent was there.
yeah, he
Doing
was
that
there.
one.
He was on that one. Then you had Dr. Dre. Then you had Rihanna. I mean, you had Rihanna. Then you had what was Beyonce? I think the only who besides Lady Gaga and Coldplay, I don't think there really was no black acts in like the last couple of years. But anyway, it got too black for them. And then when they announced Bad Buddy as the Super Bowl halftime, that's when they just drew the line. Like, now you want us to listen to a 14-minute performance in Spanish from an illegal? By the way, Bad Bunny is not illegal. He was born in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is part of the U.S., which makes him a U.S. citizen. But for us as black people, we had to sit through years of performances of what we felt like wasn't made for us. In my personal opinion, they can't accept that our culture is what's hot right now. They hate it. And like I said, we had to sit through like Disney like what was it, Disney halftime shows. We had to sit through NSYNC and Pink and I think Christina Aguilera did it one year. We had to sit through who else was it? It's just a bunch of rock people, a lot of country artists. We had to sit through a lot of performances and stuff that's not really our taste and what we would actually sit there and watch. So, at this point, y'all could just, just enjoy the ride, damn it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who or what kind of show they're going to put. Like, I'm not going to watch it, of course, but I'm just curious to see who's going to be in the lineup so I can just take notes.
It's gonna be some type of rock person for the Turning Point USA. It's either gonna be some rock person, somebody who does rock music, alternative rock, like the Christian rock music, or it's gonna be like I said, a gospel choir or country music artist. It's gonna be one of those options. I can't see it. I can't see nobody else doing it.
Where they say they was going to hold it at.
They haven't announced it yet, so I'm pretty sure they have to up there. I just feel like this is just so stupid because wherever y'all hosted at, you're gonna have to have pretty much rent out an arena or a theater, and you're gonna rent out a whole entire arena or theater just for a 14-minute performance. And most Super Bowl performances is not even 14 minutes. Some are between 12 and like 13 minutes and 30 seconds. So you've already spent hundreds of thousands of actually millions of dollars because the NFL pay people to do the halftime show. They get a budget to spend on a halftime show. And if they go past the budget, then the artists pay out their own pocket, to put on a halftime show. So yeah, you're gonna come out your money out of millions of dollars for a 13-minute performance just because you don't like Bad Bunny.
I say let them be stupid and
Yeah,
see what happens.
I totally agree. Let's get into some more news now. Let's talk about ICE in Chicago. So the president has turned Chicago into a war zone. We all saw the videos online. Now, we have been seeing them use military equipment like helicopters and chemical agents like tear gas and smoke grenades on American citizens protesting. They are turning Chicago into a war zone. The residents got to deal with helicopters flying over their houses. There was an incident where a woman said there was a family from Venezuela and ICE was doing the raids and stuff, and there they had the 7-year-old daughter who was like consolable. So the man invited the family to come in his house. He told them to hide under his bed and don't come out until the ICE agents were gone. So people who are part of MAGA are just okay with what's going on there. And me personally, I love that I have been seeing people in Chicago, the residents of Chicago, fighting back. Like they've been fighting back for years over the like crazy stuff that's been happening in Chicago. And I have a video of a young man explaining like the history of Chicago residents fighting back. So I'm going to play that clip for you.
Look at this. Y'all really thought Chicago was just gonna roll over? The city where the Potawatomis whooped the U.S. Army so bad, the battle was only 15 minutes, that the U.S. was convinced that all indigenous people had to be removed from the area. Yet instead, the black founder of Chicago, Jean-Baptiste Pointe-du-Sable, married a Potawatomi woman. And Chicago still has the largest urban indigenous population in the country. Ain't nobody going nowhere. But let me tell you something else about this city. 1886. This is where the Haymarket Affair happened. Labor organizers were fighting for an 8-hour workday when the police was sent in to beat and shoot them, just to stop them from fighting for the rights that are normal to us today. One of the protesters threw a dynamite bomb at them. Chicago always been about that life. This city never had Jim Crow segregation. But when a teenage black boy accidentally drifted on a raft he built into the unofficial white beach, some white boys threw rocks at him until he drowned. That was in 1919. And despite white people burning down black Southside neighborhoods after we said something about it, we still fought back. We still kept migrating. And we kept building. Even formed a jazz and blues capital in Bronzeville. Look, I'm telling y'all, Chicago ain't never been scared. This is where one of the largest chapters of the Black Panther Party was. 1969, Fred Hampton formed the Rainbow Coalition. It was Black Panthers, Puerto Rican Young Lords, even whites from Appalachia who called themselves the Young Patriots, all working together on a united front against the oppressor, the rich and powerful. And this happened despite the tensions between different ethnic groups in the city. Chicago has always been about that life. They have always stood 10 toes down. And I don't expect anything different this time around.
So yeah, I feel like Chicago has been fighting back for a long, long time. I love how he presented it. By the way, that yellow man, that his voice don't match the body.
It don't. Okay, I wasn't the only one thinking that. Okay.
So also in Chicago, a Broadview police officer, Thomas Mills, police chief Thomas Mills has said that ICE agents are draining his police department resources by making false 911 calls, according to a report from CBS. For example, there was a 911 call stating that someone was tampering with the gate at the ICE detention facility in Broadview. When they came, no one was there. The incident report says that an ICE agent called the police for help, but the police chief thinks it was just a bogus call. An ICE agent claimed that someone was trying to force their way into the building, but it was just a photographer filming the exterior of the building. The chief says he has received questionable 911 calls over the past several days. What a waste of government dollars. That's all I got to say with them making these false 911 calls. And then Trump was upset that he was saying like the police force in Chicago wasn't protecting his ICE agents, but then you got your ICE agents making false calls to the police department where they could be using those resources somewhere else to where they need to be.
Like, what is the point?
And I've seen some of the chaos, like the videos, like there was ICE agents, they were literally running from these residents. Like the residents were like the ICE agent. I shouldn't say running. So the ICE agents, I don't know if they was going into a certain area to a raid or whatever, but you saw the residents and cars following behind these people, blowing their horns, yelling, warning people of the ICE coming and all these kind of things, basically not allowing ICE to do their raids. And I'm fucking proud of y'all, Chicago. I'm forgetting about y'all, but I'm proud of y'all. I'm really let's talk about a South Carolina judge. So, South Carolina judge home catches on fire after issuing a ruling against Trump administration. Judge Goodstein, husband, former state senator, and other family members were rushed to the hospital after jumping from the window to escape. People online are saying the fire was caused after the judge reached a ruling to temporarily block South Carolina from handing over voter registration data to the Trump administration in September. And I have a video of the house on fire. This was a big fire, so I'm going to play the video for y'all real quick. And like I said, that was a massive.
Oh yeah, you gonna be in the hospital jumping from the second floor there.
Yeah, I'm like, just from like how big that fire was, like the whole entire house was literally orange, like it was burning, and that type of fire looked intentional. I don't care what nobody say, that looks very intentional, and for that to happen after the the ruling is very, very suspicious. And I will try to keep you guys updated if there's more information on that story. Okay, so let's talk about Social Security. So, the Trump administration is making it harder for elderly Americans to get Social Security disability. They are trying to overhaul the Social Security program by making it harder to be eligible right now. The Social Security Administration evaluates disability claims by considering age, work experience, education, and to determine if someone is eligible or whether a person could essentially adjust to other types of work. Typically, the older you are, the better chances you are of qualifying, because older people are typically harder to work in certain jobs. Now, they are trying to get rid of the age consideration of potentially moving it up to 40, up to 60 years old, which will make it so much harder for a lot of senior citizens in America, for a lot of elderly people to get Social Security disability benefits, forcing them to work jobs they are not physically able to do. Whew, that was a lot. I don't like this administration. Like they just keep trying to find more and more ways to screw people, more and more ways to make people have to work longer. Um, far as like people getting, like, I didn't know that for elderly people, I thought that, like, once they get past a certain age, they just automatically qualify for it. So if they get hurt at work and can't work, I thought they just automatically qualify for it. I didn't know that they try to see there's other jobs that you can work. And once they determine there's other jobs that you can't work, then that's when you are able to get the Social Security disability. I didn't know that as far as elderly people. Um, and like I said, like I've seen people that are in wheelchairs working. They're confined to wheelchair and it work. I know it's hard for people like them to find jobs, and I understand. But there are so many desk jobs that I feel like able-bodied people can do, and they just don't want to do. And like I said, for people like, oh, I had surgery on my foot or something like that. Like, what you had surgery on your foot, so you can't sit at a desk and type. Like, I feel like if you have foot surgery, you still should be able to do secretary work, in my personal opinion.
Everybody don't have the skill set to be a secretary.
You're right. Everybody doesn't have that skill set to be a secretary. It could be taught, but it takes too long to teach people these day and age. Especially how some of these fools say they just don't know nothing. Okay.
I'm done with you.
So let's talk about air traffic control for a moment. So, due to the government shutdown, America's air traffic control has been in crumbles. Airports like Chicago and Burbanks is in California, by the way, for those you don't know. And Burbanks had to completely shut down during a certain time of the day due to no air traffic controllers. I believe Chicago was shut down between 2 p.m. from 2 to 11. I don't know if it was 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. or 2 a.m. to 11 a.m. But during those times, O'Hare was completely shut down. There were no flights going in and out of O'Hare during that time. They have been calling in because of the shutdown. They are not getting paid, so they have not been coming to work. these workers still have kids to feed, they have bills to pay. I've heard reports of some of these workers taking on Uber jobs to help keep their family afloat during the shutdown. The Trump administration is saying they will fire those who continue to call in and don't come to work. And I'm just like, what? What? I mean, just open the government. But once again, you don't want to open the government because of the Epstein files. And it's like you can't.
Dun, dun, dun.
Don't say
It's like you can expect for these people to show up for work every single day and not get paid. Like, how do you expect them to get to and from work? Like, if I take the bus, I have to buy a bus pass. I got to pay for gas to get to and from work. I still got to find a way to keep my lights on. I got to figure out a way to pay for childcare. I got to figure out a way to keep the kids fed. I can't do all that, and still go to work and then not get paid. Like, what do you? So I'm going to go do other things to make sure that I at least have some type of money coming in and keep the bills paid.
Yeah, they need to just be furloughed.
Yeah, but nope,
That's it.
they just off work with no pay. And I said to somebody, my coworker had brought this up that he said that he was going to give $20 to his postal worker. He's giving them $20 for it. He was like, because they're federal workers and the federal government is shut down. I ain't think about that. Like people that deliver my mail every single day, especially with all the packages I've been getting lately. They've been doing all that stuff and not getting paid. And like I said,
I thought it was certain branches of the government, like the post office, like they were still getting paid.
I don't know. He said they wasn't getting paid. I'm gonna look into it. He said that the federal government shut down. They're federal workers, so they're not getting paid. Only people I know who are definitely getting paid right now is ICE agents because they did their budget earlier this year. So anybody else who budget wasn't done earlier in the year and is due in this budget, you're not getting paid. So he was going to give this postal worker $20. So I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, especially if they're not getting paid. I don't know if they're getting paid or not. But yeah,
I mean, I never see my postal worker, so
mine's come every
thank
day.
you, though. I appreciate you.
Right, mine's come every day faithfully between 9 and 10, Monday through Saturday.
Thanks for telling the world when we can just go snatch your packages up.
I mean, good luck with that one. I mean, the one thing I'll get is some beef jerky.
Okay. All right. So we've had a couple of mass shootings that have happened since Saturday. So late Saturday night into Sunday morning. So this is the most recent one. The shooting occurred at Willie's Bar and Grill on St. Helena Island in South Carolina. 4 people were pronounced dead on the scene, and 20 others were injured, with 4 of those people being in critical condition. So the motive for the shooting is unclear, and the suspect has not been announced. So we'll have to keep you updated with any information surrounding that, because that's just
Trump.
So that was just random, right? So I'm curious to see what the motive was with that. And then it was another mass shooting that occurred early Saturday morning, happening around midnight in Leland, Mississippi. So this happened after or during a celebration. It was a high school homecoming game that had just happened, and they were celebrating. I'm assuming they won, right? So and around midnight there was a shooting. 4 people lost their lives and 12 others were injured. For this one, I believe there were reports of they had a suspect early on, but now they're saying that they don't have a suspect. So I don't know the motive about that one either. So we'll have to keep you updated with that. Okay. It's just like, yeah, and I didn't put this in there, but it was yet another body found in Houston's Bayou, and they're still standing on it that it's not a serial killer.
It's a damn serial killer. I'm convinced. I am convinced. This is like, oh wait, no. He never mind. He had them hidden in freezers and stuff. This isn't that situation.
Oh yeah, okay, but yeah, so that is still a developing story. So I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for that as well. So we're gonna throw it back to the beginning of this year. I don't know if y'all remember when there was a fire during New Year's this year,
Mhm.
and a lot of famous people lost their homes. Okay, so
Didn't Black Beverly
authorities,
Hills, I mean, did Black Beverly Hills get burned too?
yeah. So they have arrested a suspect. 29-year-old Jonathan Rinder Neck has been arrested and charged for starting a fire in the Palisades on New Year's Eve that killed 12 people and destroying more than 6,000 homes. So allegedly, Ryan, I'm sorry, Rhinebeck, that's how he was pronouncing it, completed an Uber ride near the Palisades. Was upset at a friend because something about New Year's Eve. I don't know. I didn't go into too much detail. And he basically started the fire. So it sounds like he was already familiar with the area because he had lived a block from where the fires were started. But as the police, now he was apprehended in Florida, so he has since then moved to Florida, and that's where they arrested him at. But he supposedly was like searching multiple internet sites related to fires, had asked ChatGPT to generate an image of a city burning, and even asked ChatGPT, would you be responsible if your cigarette started a fire?
That is the definition of dumb criminal.
Like you was mad, so you started a fire?
So it was almost like you just left a trail of evidence. Like you did the job for them. You literally left a trail of evidence for them to find you.
Sure did.
Dumb criminal at his best.
I was like, he was what? Like you, so you did so many things wrong, right? You was just driving in an Uber. Like, so I don't know how Uber go. I don't know if he disconnected himself or signed himself out from the app before he did this or what. But yeah, they was able to track his movements and stuff. And I was like, that's crazy. I had kind of, well, I didn't forget about it, but I didn't realize that they hadn't arrested somebody for that.
I didn't either. I had no idea they arrested somebody for it.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that for you guys.
Mhm. All right. Let's talk more about this government shutdown. So the government shut down because well, it's the Republicans' fault that it shut down, by the way. Once again, the Democrats just want funding back for Medicare and Medicaid, which the Republicans don't want to do. They also want to keep the Affordable Care Act. Democrats want to keep the Affordable Care Act at a low cost for health insurance. Under the Affordable Care Act, a family of four pays about $500 a month for insurance. Without the current subsidies that without the current subsidies, the family can pay will be paying over $2,000 for health insurance. So Trump has been saying for years that he had a plan for health insurance, and we still have not seen that plan. And I have video proof that he said that he's had a plan, and I'm going to show you that video.
Obamacare is not a good thing. It's been bad. We could come up with a new system that would be much better. We're going to have a health care plan that's going to be second to none. It's going to be great. We are coming out with that plan in 2 weeks. We are coming out with so many health care plans. The plan is coming out over the next 4 weeks. We're going to produce phenomenal health care. We'll be announcing that in about 2 months. We're signing a health care plan within 2 weeks. We're going to be doing a very inclusive health care plan. I'll be signing it sometime very soon. It is developed. It is fully developed. It's going to be announced very soon.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan.
He has concepts of a plan.
I remember all of that.
He's been saying that they had a plan for healthcare, and we have yet to see this plan.
And meanwhile, my health care plan costs have went up, and it covers a lot less.
I've been saying that for years about my health insurance. Like, I work for a healthcare system, and our insurance don't cover nothing.
This
It's
is not
terrible.
the time for that. I'm getting older. We don't know if we're gonna have Social Security or Medicaid or Medicare. What is happening? I guess I better go ahead and become a medical doctor or something, huh?
Yeah, at this point, that's our only choice. Uh,
It's sad.
okay. So is Congress? I said that should be PASS, not PAS. Whatever. If Congress don't get anything passed within the next week or two, the government will be shut down for 2 more weeks when Congress goes into recess. This shutdown is not really about health insurance. It's all the other things Republicans are saying, basically. Well, they're trying to. It's not all the things that the Republicans are saying that the Democrats are causing for the shutdown. It's about protecting Donald Trump. If the government was open, they would have to swear in the newly elected senator from Arizona who could be the deciding vote to release the Epstein files. A woman, oh wait, and then related to the shutdown, a woman called into a news show that Mike Johnson was on, and I'm going to play that video for you. We're going to discuss it because she was talking about what would happen if this shutdown was to continue and how it would affect her family. And I believe she is a MAGA supporter also. So I'm going to play the clip for you.
On the Republican line, Fort Belvoir, Virginia. Samantha, you're on with Speaker Johnson.
Hi, Mr. Johnson. So my question or comments are related to what you said yesterday about not being open to pass any legislation to ensure that military gets paid. I'm sure you can tell by my voice I'm very shaky. Just want you to hear a little bit about my family. I have 2 medically fragile children. I have a husband who actively serves this country. He suffers from PTSD from his 2 tours in Afghanistan. If we see a lapse in pay come the 15th, my children do not get the medication that's needed for them to live their life, because we live paycheck to paycheck. I heard you earlier say that you side with President Trump on anything that he says. Well, I just read an article this morning that said he absolutely wholeheartedly believes that there needs to be legislation put in so that we do not miss a paycheck. You have the power to do that. And as a Republican, I'm very disappointed in my party, and I'm very disappointed in you, because you do have the power to call the House back. You did that, or you refused to do that just for a show. I am begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. We don't have the credit because of the medical bills that I have to pay regularly. You could stop this, and you could be the one that could say military is getting paid. And I think that it is awful, and the audacity of someone who makes 6 figures a year to do this to military families is insane.
All right.
She said what she said.
She said what she said, period.
I agree with her 100%. He has the power to call Congress back. He has the power to get some type of legislation passed where people can at least get paid. He has a lot of power and refused to do it. He refused to keep doing Donald Trump's bidding over and over and over. And people are getting sick of it, both. And it's people within the Republican Party who is also getting sick of him doing these kind of things. Awesome. Also, I'm going to put you guys a video of Donald Trump saying that he took away freedom of speech too. And then, like I said, this is the man that Mike Johnson wants to protect, by the way. So I'm going to play this clip for you.
We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like it on both sides, and you end up with riots. So we're going on that basis. We're looking at it not from the freedom of speech, which I always felt strongly about, but never passed the courts.
So
what is he even talking about?
So basically,
how are you taking away freedom of speech?
So freedom of speech, he was referring to freedom of speech. His way of referring to freedom of speech was people who was burning American flags. Burning American flags is protected.
It's illegal. I thought it was illegal.
No, No, you can't. It's protected
Wow.
under the First Amendment. You can literally burn a flag, an American flag, because it's under the freedom of speech, the First Amendment. It falls under that. So you can literally go outside and burn your flag and burn the American flag if you want to. And he said, it makes people mad, so I'm going to take away that freedom of speech of being able to burn flags.
It's me thinking that was illegal to do. I could have sworn I thought that was illegal to do.
It's legal. If you get pissed off at your government, you want to burn the flag, you can.
I mean, I don't have a flag outside my house. Period.
I remember back in the day, people, it was like considered disrespectful, like when a flag, like an old American flag, get like worn and torn or whatever.
It's tattered, you got to replace it. Yeah. So with my parents being in the military, we used to have a flag outside of our house when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so and they would change it or put it half staff and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. So I think back then, like you couldn't just throw the flag in the garbage like the old worn out flag, whatever. So that's why that's people just burn. But that's what the burning the whole flag was for under the First Amendment thing, under freedom of speech. Like you can legally burn the flag when this is worn and torn out, like stuff like that. Yeah, but now if you just hate your government, you want to just make a statement, you just go out there and burn your flag now. So let's talk about the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh my God.
There's something very upset about that he did not receive. And I have a series of videos. I think the first video is I don't know what they call it. It was the director of the Nobel Peace Prize thing.
It was a chair. It was a chairman.
The chairman.
I don't know how many chairmen there are, but that's what it said. He was a chairman.
So he was stating the woman who won and talking about the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm going to play the clip for you.
The Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 goes to a brave and committed champion of peace, to a woman who keeps the flame of democracy burning amidst a growing darkness. The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 to Maria Corina Machado. She is receiving the Nobel Peace Prize for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela and for her struggle to achieve a just and peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy.
And we have a video of a reporter asking the chairman of why Donald Trump did not receive the Nobel Peace Prize. I want to play that video for you also.
U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly said he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize and he'd like to have it. He even said that it would be an insult to the United States if he doesn't get it. What does as the chairman of the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, think of this, and how has this campaign-like activity by the president and his supporters domestically and internationally affected the deliberations and the thinking in the committee?
In the long history of the Nobel Peace Prize, I think this committee have seen any type of campaign, media attention. We receive thousands and thousands of letters every year of people wanting to say what for them leads to peace. This committee sits in a room filled with the portraits of all laureates, and that room is filled with both courage and integrity. So we base only our decision on the work and the will of Alfred Nobel.
So basically saying that Donald Trump lacks courage and integrity.
I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. He hasn't done anything to really represent the Nobel Peace Prize any kind of way.
At all.
Right.
Whatsoever.
So I do have Donald Trump's response, a video of his response of him not getting the Nobel Peace Prize. So I'm going to play that for you.
The person who actually got the Nobel Prize called today and said, I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it. A very nice thing to do. I didn't say then give it to me though. I think she might have. She was very nice, and I've been helping her along the way. They need a lot of help in Venezuela. It's a basic disaster, and you could also say it was given out for 24, and I was running for office in 24. All of the transactions that we did in terms of closing, but there are those that say we did so much that they should have done it, but I don't take. I'm happy because they saved millions of lives.
This is my first hearing of him helping anybody in Venezuela. You talking about you saving millions of lives? We would have heard about that every single waking moment of our lives. What are we talking about here? And why would she call you up? Why would she call you up?
I said the same thing. I said the same thing. Like you did, what he's saying. Like he cannot be saying this right now. And the fact that I don't think it's Venezuela he's helping out. There is another Central American company or South American country that he's helped out. That he's bailing them out of their debt. That our government is sending them like $20 billion to bail out their country, and in return they'll give us a bunch of pesos that's not worth nothing because our economy is holding on by a thread now because all the bells and alarms are sounding right now, saying that we don't fix this right now, we're going to have a repeat of the 2008 recession or probably worse. Right now, everything in the American economy is falling. It's falling apart. Then you got inflation going up and everything else falling apart. The only thing that's keeping our economy afloat right now is all these people is investing in AI. And then why is that a bad thing? Like AI can be a good thing for the future. Like when the internet first came out and a lot of people was investing in the internet and they didn't really know how the internet was really going to work or how it was going to be used and how it was going to be used like how we use it now. So with that being said, like they all invested all this money into the internet and then the .com bubble happened and then our economy dropped. Like our economy started to fail. And then once again, we have to rebuild our economy back up. And that's what they're predicting is going to happen once this whole AI bubble really pops. And then once people be like, you're investing all this money into AI, and then it turns out it goes in a whole different direction. And then next, our whole economy is going to collapse. And they're predicting that it's going to happen. And our current administration, our current president is doing nothing about it to protect, the American people. So when that happens, for people like me, like I have mine's not called a 401k, but it's similar to a 401k where it's my retirement account is invested into stock markets. And if our economy was to crash, I can lose thousands of dollars behind this whole economy crashing and all these things. There's going to be millions of people without jobs. But yet with the inflation as high as it is, like I said, this current administration is setting us up to fail, and it's going to happen. And all we could do is just sit back and watch because, like I said, he's been giving all the warning signs, all the bells has been sounded, all the alarms gone off, and he had just completely ignored it, thinking that with everything that he's doing is good. Like he was talking about sending out stimulus checks or rebate checks to Americans for between $1,000 to $2,000 as rebates from the money that the government made on the money from tariff taxes. That like our country is billions and billions and like with trillions of dollars in debt. They claim that our country made like 30 billion, a little over 30 billion, between 30 and 80 billion. I'm gonna say that between 30 and 80 billion dollars in tariff tax revenue is what our country is saying. So if we are trillions of dollars in debt, why aren't we taking this money that you're claiming that we made in revenue from tariff taxes? Why are we not putting that into the stuff that we owe money to? Like, why are we not paying down that $1 trillion debt? Instead, you're just gonna use that money that you claim to give back to us. Like, I don't see it happening. I really don't. And this man ain't nothing. His man is full of shit. He is full of shit.
He absolutely is.
So let's talk about our favorite Gen Z in government. And I love how he it's unapologetic. So he's running for office currently. So he's trying to get into the office position, and he's been running and stuff. Like say, like on last episode, I told you like he went into like frat houses and everything, trying to get in campaigning. And the way how he speaks his mind about Donald Trump, like I freaking love it. So I want to play a clip for you.
We need to stop the hate, saying that the people that are in our administration are racist, are fascists.
First off, Donald Trump is a fascist, and I'm not going to be scared away from saying that. But I think what we need to be talking about is the fact that every single time we have one of these mass shooting events, we always hear thoughts and prayers from Republicans. Because it's been Republicans that have blocked literally every major issue regarding this issue. So I hope you guys would join in on the fight to not just go what you normally do, which is defund mental health programs consistently, like what happened after the Santa Fe shooting, like what happened particularly after the Uvalde shooting. I hope that you guys actually support more funding for mental health, actually going to go put mandatory background checks in place, absolutely supporting an assault weapons ban in this country, just as Bill Clinton did in the 1990s. But I think that if we really want to get this done, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. The NRA is what stops them from being able to go and actually go past real policies. We need to ban all outside money in politics to bankrupt the NRA to stop them in their reign of terror. We also have to be proactive in that. I support getting rid of the filibuster, particularly in the U.S. Senate, so we can actually get these policies done and passed in this Congress.
That's the guy that you enjoy hearing him speak.
Yeah, I really enjoy hearing him. I really enjoy hearing him speak, and I like I said, we need more people like him in our government, whether black, white, Asian, whatever. We need people who think like him in the government. Like you said, when these mass shootings happen, y'all say "Oh, my thoughts and prayers with the family," but you won't actually do anything to stop this from happening in the future. So yes, I do agree with him, and we need more people like him in the government. Now let's talk about black farmers. So I got this video of this woman had tried to comfort him. So he had to let her know, like, hey, I'm thriving as a black farmer. I don't depend on the government to get contracts and stuff like that. So I'm going to play this video for y'all.
Oh, sweetheart, you're going to want to sit down for this. See, you think that I'm a farmer on welfare, like this guy.
We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program. Our EQIP program, which is cost sharing on fences, waters, a well, and some seedings, was funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. Because of the executive orders, there's a pause or a freeze on the funding through the Inflation Reduction Act.
But, see, there's a problem. I'm black and native, and you may not know this, but welfare is for white people. Oh, and I mean that literally. The USDA got successfully sued for limiting farm welfare only to white people. Now, I'm sure if this had happened to you, then you would have just sat in a puddle and pouted and crossed your arms and called your daddy like the beta cuck child that you are. But one of the key elements of black boy magic is that if we can't go through you, then we're just gonna go around you, which is why my business is funded entirely by private investment and consumer trade. Trade deals that I made, by the way, so that your dumbass president can't fuck them up. Oh, and speaking of messing up trade deals, and let me show you something real quick. See this right here? This is a field of soybeans, and the MAGA farmer that planted it better hope that I keep buying 1,000 bushels of the stuff every week for my livestock feed, since he no longer has an export destination for it. Also, between my personal and business income taxes, pass-through taxes, payroll taxes, sales taxes, regulatory filings, and fees, I'm on track to pay various governments nearly $200,000 this year. Far from me taking anything from the government, you better hope that I keep paying my taxes so that you can get your EBT benefits, which white people overwhelmingly benefit from. Even after all these centuries, all the affirmative action, all the DEI, all the stuff that you say we don't deserve, I'm still working twice as hard to get half as much just to give the other half to you for free. But that's okay, because I'm going to take my half, I'm going to create magic for me and everybody around me, and we're going to live happily ever after. And you are still going to be sitting there with your free crap whining about it the whole time. And that's the day you deserve.
Yes, black farm magic. I love that in every sense of the way.
Yeah, that was smooth. That was a read.
Yeah. He did that better than what I can do. I'm like, I saw that and I was like, yeah, I gotta get this on the podcast. So Gaga is now a verb. A black man has turned Gaga into a verb. I don't want to play the clip for y'all. So here we go. This is our clip of the week, by the way.
I probably wasn't ever gonna tell this story, but one of the guys talking to me like I'm scared to tell this story, like I think y'all gonna judge me, like I care about judgment. So fuck it. Listen, here go the time I almost unalived the nigga over Lady Gaga. I swear to God, and I ain't never met Lady Gaga, not one day in my life. Listen to me. I'm on 75th and May, sitting in my car, G, just vibing to myself. I rolled up one, I'm blowing, and I'm listening to my favorite song at the time. I'm listening to Bad Romance. And I swear to God, I'm vibing. I'm in my zone, G. I'm a hardcore gang member out here doing all gang and drug dealer activities. And I'm in my car listening to Gaga. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm minding my motherfucking business. And I'm in my zone. I'm vibing. And right when a nigga hit the door, he opened the door, and you know how the light come on? I'm in this bitch like, rah, 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 rah. You know, I swear to God, G, like, bro looked dead in the car. I was like, hey, you know what, I'll be back. And closed the door and walked off. I ain't think nothing of it. I just finished my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my motherfucking car minding my business. I'm in that bitch with, you know, I know that you want me. I know that you need me. You want me bad. I'm really feeling it. I'm in that bitch. I want your and I want your revenge. Me and you could have a bad romance. Oh, I'm really vibing. I look up, I see some of the guys walking up. I turned on the radio, and I hop out. I'm like, yo, what's good? They're like, hey, bro, what you got going on in your car, bro? I'm like, nigga, what? I'm listening to Gaga. And niggas is talking crazy, and I just go the fuck off. Hey, man, fuck every last one of y'all. Nigga on Stone, I'll smack the shit out of one of y'all, B. Say something else. My man like, hey, be kind. I say, bitch, I'll move on you. They're like, oh, bro, you can't call bro out his name. I say, nigga, who the fuck finna stop me, nigga? And they like, bro, hold on, you bearing? I say, bro, y'all walked up on me like there's a problem. Nigga, fuck you if you don't Gaga, bitch. Now what? Who finna touch me, bitch? Niggas was looking at me like, yo, hey, bro, you out of body right now, man. Okay, do something about it then. Do something about it, nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm original EBK, nigga. Hey, you ain't finna say shit to me. Y'all out here with skinny jeans on and fucking man purses. You can't say shit to me if I want a Gaga or a nigga. Sometimes I feel like I want to swing from a chandelier. I fucks with Sia too. I don't give a fuck. I will go out on a drill and listening to Sia. I promise to God I will. I promise to God. I be sliding up on you right now. You be thinking it's sweet on your block. I'm sliding up. Party girls, don't get much, ain't do anything. Don't get out my hold it down. Hold it down. Oh. I swear to God, I be blowing that your ass out the window. I wanna swing from the chandelier. Hey, come on, nigga, we gotta go. I don't get no fucks. Nigga, I watch musicals too, bitch. I wish you would run up on me because I be in the crib sometimes talking about something. Well, oh, well, oh, well, oh, well. Tell me more, tell me more. Did you get really far? Tell me more, tell me more. Like, did he have a car? Up. I don't give a fuck what you talking about, G. Look, I'm serious, man. I get judged because I don't listen to thug music while y'all motherfuckers out here sagging with skinny jeans and got your booties out. What? Man, if you don't get your soft ass on somewhere, oh, tambourine playing ass gangsters. Man, fuck out of here. Follow me for more.
Yo, he snapped. You don't get Gaga.
I was in my car, Gaga, and he's like, Gaga is not she's now a verb.
She is now a verb.
Oh. Okay.
I love it.
Okay, with all that being said, let's head into final thoughts. We're ready to end the show for y'all. So yeah, let's head into final thoughts. Donald Trump is an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has nobody around him to guide him in the right direction. He's going to crash the economy. He's going to crash the American people. He's going to cause the deaths of millions of American people behind all this crap that he's doing. He's costing people their livelihoods, their health care, and everything else. It's just horrible. Our country is just in chaos right now. We're really heading into that civil war where it's basically, the American people versus own U.S. government. Well, I was going to say U.S. Army, but the Army hasn't been involved with us yet. It's basically the American people versus the National Guard, basically, at this point. And that's what we're heading into. We're going into a civil war, and that's when it's starting to feel like under this Trump dictatorship. And like I said, what happened to no taxation without representation? Like, we should just figure out a way. We should, anything that the government can make money off of, throw that shit in the ocean. Get rid of it. Let's do this, y'all, because we no taxation without representation, and that's my final thought. Tina's muted again.
My final thought is somebody said have kids, it'll be fun. So I'm just kind of waiting for Ashton Kutcher to like pop out like we on Punk'd or something, because this is crazy. It ain't no way that Donald Trump ever thought he would ever qualify for a Nobel Peace Prize. And then just this whole ruckus with Tylenol, like y'all waited until 2025 to decide that Tylenol was bad without any evidence. So it's just, I feel like we just in a very long episode of Punk'd. Like, ain't no way in the world that this is what the administration is concerned about. Meanwhile, we possibly have a serial killer somewhere in the South. All these mass shootings that just keep happening back to back to back. Like, can we get some action on that? But meanwhile, you worried about deporting people and sending ICE into major cities, but we got mass shootings and serial killers on the loose. Like, why did it take y'all 5 months to find Derrick Rose in an Atlanta basement? Like, what's happening? And that's my final thought.
Yay! So, thank you all. Well, hopefully next week it's gonna be an episode. I'm doing some updates to my studio. Hopefully, I had those done. I started putting up my Christmas decorations, by the way.
Oh
too.
my God!
So, hopefully there will be an episode next week. I'm gonna try my best to have an episode out for y'all. We'll try to record another one for you. And with that being said, don't forget to check out our social media pages. Don't forget to scan the QR code in the top left-hand corner of your screen for those who are watching the video version. You can find a link to our merch store and our social media sites. We can stay up to date with us. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Same Cast Different Day podcast, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.